Welcome back to Guitargear1. It feels so good to say that. And if you guys have missed my videos at all, believe me, I've missed making them way worse. It's been an awfully long time since I've had a chance to do anything at all with my music stuff. In fact, I had this 7-string guitar built for me like 2 years ago, and I haven't even had a chance to post up anything with me talking about what it is, where it came from, why I got it, all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about this guitar, my rig. I know a lot of you guys probably have a lot of questions about different styles of music, how to get those kinds of sounds. We're going to dive back into all that stuff like we've never done before. Stick around, we're going to do an overview of this guitar, and then we're going to go into a whole bunch of other stuff. So, welcome back, thanks for being here, and let's do it. Okay guys, so here we are. This is my custom 7-string guitar that I had built for me. And to explain a little bit about what I mean by that, here's what I had found. There's a guy on eBay, I don't actually have his name, and I'll have to tell you some info about what actually happened with this deal, but he was making bodies for guitars out of zebra wood, which I didn't know anything about, and I thought that was just like a slang or something like that, or you know, a common term for something, but it's actually called zebra wood. That's a real wood. It's not like a kind of mahogany or something like that that just has this pattern. It's very, very, very heavy. This is the heaviest guitar I think I have. My Les Paul, made by Heritage, might be heavier. I'll have to actually check, but it's extremely dense. It sounds really cool, I think. And to tell you a little bit about the guitar, again, this guy built the body, okay, himself, and he did all these zebra wood appointments. You can see that the tone and volume knobs are hand carved out of zebra wood, and then if we turn the guitar over, you can see the control panel cavities have also been carved out of zebra wood. That would be both for the the bridge cavity and for the electronics. Now this neck is an Ibanez neck, obviously. So what he had done was, he hadn't started building necks yet at the time that I bought this. So he put an Ibanez RG something, I'm guessing, neck on there. And in fact, if anybody can tell me what this symbol is, and I guess it's not going to come up under these lights too good. I really don't even know. Well, it says RG right up here anyway, so we're learning together. This is good. He put the Ibanez neck on there, and what he had done was he sanded off the finish on the back of the neck. So there's a really, really, really smooth feel to it, which is cool. 24 fret neck, and this is a standard scale, okay? This is 25.5 inch. Now, if you guys saw my Agile video, you know that guitar was 27 inch scale, and boy, man, I really don't know what to tell you guys. The 27 inch scale, at least from Agile, was never comfortable to me. It was never something that I fell in love with or miss. But I will tell you that 25.5 does seem to be a little bit small. Schecter makes the Jeff Loomis signature model, which I believe is 26.5 inches. But I've been really curious about something like 26.25 or 26 even, something like that. I think it would help the guitar intonate just a little bit better, and it would give me just a little bit more room to move around when I'm playing. All that being said, there are some things that you can do. Now, the concern with scale length is that you will not be able to properly intonate your guitar if it isn't long enough with these bass, these lower tunings that we're using. So the strings are still floppy because there isn't enough tension on them, and that's why basses are so long. Those strings need that much tension in order to maintain a playable, feel under your fingers. So what I've done is, and I have a good friend of mine, well, a guy that I've gotten to know over the last couple of years, that's a guitar builder out of Philadelphia. What he's put me onto is, I've been buying heavy sets of Ernie Ball strings, and there's a website called juststrings.com, and you can order individual strings off of that site. I'm sure there's a lot of other sites you can do that from. I've been getting them from juststrings.com, and I'm buying these 70 gauge strings, okay? And right now I'm actually tuning to drop G, okay? So my lowest string is down to G, and everything else is a whole step down from standard pitch, okay? So by putting on those much heavier strings, I find that the guitar sets up better, it plays better, but it's still not perfect. It's still not how I wished it was. Moving on to the bridge, it is a hunk of junk. Okay, the guy that built this guitar slapped this Floyd Rose license on there, and it is just as bad as it gets. So someday I'll probably be replacing that I'm in the works right now to have an 8-string built for me, so I'll see what happens with my love of 7s once I get that, but that's the plan for right now. Let's talk about the pickups. These are something that I think a lot of you are going to have a lot of interest in or questions about. These are bare knuckle pickups. Okay, if you don't know about them yet, you're going to be hearing about these things a ton. Everybody's playing them right now. They're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. They're hand wound in the UK, okay, and they are like a musician's pickups, okay, well, modern musician's pickups, I should say. These are the Alnico Warpig model, okay, and there's a set called the Aftermath that most of the kids that are really into like gent are playing, or degent, whatever the hell you want to call it. And I thought the Alnico would be just a little bit more organic sounding, which for the most part I think is true. These are extremely high output, like, God, and you guys will just, I'm sure, crucify me if I'm wrong on this, but I think a Seymour Duncan JB gives something like 12 Ks of resistance, okay? This bridge pickup is, I can't remember if it's 21 or 25, okay? It's literally almost twice the output of a JB. Now, to put that in perspective, what happens is you play them and you're thinking to yourself, yeah, these are pretty gainy, these are pretty tough, whatever, and you play them for a while and you get used to it, and it feels good and whatever. You don't fully appreciate these things until you go back and play something else. That's when it hits you, because all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck, and like you just can't get that punch that you get so used to having. You get spoiled, and that's when you really appreciate the difference. So if you haven't tried bare knuckles yet, first thing you got to know is they're extremely expensive. I did find these used on eBay, which was just a totally perfect storm kind of a deal. Don't count on that. If you get lucky, awesome. Maybe as these things get more and more popular, that'll happen more frequently. But I can tell you that a set of these things is going to run you at least $300 or more. So, you know, that's the deal. But anyway, that's a rundown of the guitar itself. If you guys have any other questions you'd like to hear about, please let me know. I'm happy to talk shop any day. But I'm sure you guys are sick of staring at this thing, so let's cut to some sound bites. Okay guys, so we're going to demo some of the sounds of this guitar. Now again, we're talking about this guitar is loaded with those bare knuckle pickups. And also too, I think when I was looking into buying this guitar, I had not had the opportunity to not only not play a guitar that had been made out of zebra wood, I don't think I'd ever even seen one being played on YouTube or anything like that. So if you're curious of what it sounds like, we'll kind of show you that. Also, I think a lot of you might be wondering, should I get Alnico pickups or Alnico, you say it how you like, or ceramic. A lot of very famous people play ceramic pickups. Coming from blues and that kind of stuff, you know, I was always kind of taught that ceramic pickups tend to sound less organic, whatever. But we'll show you what the Alnico sound like. You can decide for yourself. And again, too, I think a lot of people are also wondering where is tube technology fitting into the scope of things anymore. When I bought this rig, okay, and this cabinet is new, by the way, and just to tell you that so we can get over it, this is a 212 cabinet loaded with Celestion vintage 30s. It's from a company called Guitargear that was going out of business. I found them online just as they were going out of business and got a really great deal on this cab. It's an awesome cab. It's built out of Baltic birch. Maybe I'll do a review on that later. But anyway, this is the Engl Powerball, okay? And I bought this head when it first came out. This is the first version, of course. And it's an awesome head. And a lot of you that are probably watching this, that are probably into 7-string guitars and music, I'm sure you've heard a lot about the axe effects, and if you haven't, you will, I'm sure. But it is taking over, it really is. And honestly, I'm sure it's only a matter of time before I kind of can't say no anymore either, but we'll see. So anyway, in the meantime, this is the Powerball. A lot of people love this amp. And just so you know this, a modeling amp is never going to sound better than the real amp. It's a lot more convenient to use the axe effects. That's the selling point, not the sound of it itself. Okay, so this is always going to sound better when everything's running right. So, without further ado, we're going to start off using the neck pickup for clean tones. Okay, and I'm just going to play some kind of low tune kind of stuff that I've been working on. And this guitar is tuned to drop G, okay? So that would just be like a drop tuning, one whole step down, okay? Okay, so right away I want you guys to hear the difference in the pickups. So let's go right to the bridge, which would be the extreme opposite sound, okay? So I'm going to go back up to the neck pickup and we're going to split it, okay? So that means you have a humbucker and we are now splitting it to be just a single coil. This is what that sounds like. Okay, moving on, we're going to play both pickups at once. So this is the neck and bridge pickup together. To the bridge pickup split, okay? So that's that kind of thing. We're going to move on to some high gain stuff. And if you're in a 7-string guitar, I think the modern thing is to combine really, really pretty stuff with not so pretty stuff. So we're going to do some of that. And we're going to just go ahead and start on the bridge pickup because that's probably where you're going to be focusing most of your attention to anyway. I did that for like single noting, so you can hear all the articulation in there, which I think is excellent. And again, if there's a lack of note separation, it is not this guitar, it's not this cabinet, it is the in-camera microphone in my camera. So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and do some neck stuff anyway for that kind of like dime baggy tone, I guess. Fan of the neck sound for leads, so I apologize, and trust me, man, I know. Like, go ahead and send me in my comments, like, you fucking suck. Dude, I don't care. So, I don't know, trying to think of some neat stuff to show you guys. I always botch this on a 7 because I know it's on a 6. Some old periphery, baby. So there's that kind of stuff, and I'll show you that with a split coil sound. And by the way, I'm gonna take 5 seconds to make you guys hear this. Do you know why that song is so fucking amazing to me? All the question and answer stuff, those are called catecedent and antecedent phrases, by the way. They create tension points and resolve. This little bit where he goes, right? You have this octave trick where he's playing an open E and then going to the octave, and we're tuned to, a step down, so it doesn't count. But God, is that beautiful, man. I don't care. You guys have to listen to that to watch this video. So that's what just happened. You got music knowledge raped. So deal with it. Again, man, I just, once you get into these big, once you get into these big 7-string chords, man, oh man, it's so hard to go back, because once you get used to having all that low end at your disposal, and you don't have to use it, that's just it. You don't have to write every single line, every single song that you do. It doesn't have to be a bass guitar song all the time. It's just so cool to have that. So that's kind of the playing overview. If you guys want anything else, let me know. I'm happy to do it. Again, guys, thanks so much for coming back to the page, checking out the new review. From here on out, we're going to be doing a lot more stuff, a lot more consistently. I'm actually playing drums in a band. That's what I'm doing now. Got a band with my younger brother. So I'm going to be showing a whole bunch of drum stuff. We're just going to really branch out on the page. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and click subscribe if you'd like to. And if you're already subscribed, you haven't seen anything in a while, we are back online. So be watching out for some new stuff from Guitargear1. Thanks again, guys. And I hope your New Year's off to a great start. Peace.